Hey everyone, Teacher Chang here today, and today we're going to use the Pythagorean Theorem to solve for a missing side of a right triangle when given the lengths of the two other sides. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at what we have here. So the Pythagorean Theorem only works for a right triangle. And in this particular case, it says that in the theorem, it says that the square of the hypotenuse, which is the longest side of our triangle, is equal to the sum of the square of the other two sides. Now, what does that mean here? Well, if we take a look at this triangle here, we have our hypotenuse, which is going to be the longest side. So the hypotenuse is going to be our C value here. And it says that the square of this hypotenuse, and that's why we have these squares here, the square of this hypotenuse is going to be equal to the sum. The sum means to add. So sum means to add up these two other squares. So the other squares are being formed from our legs. Now this is going to be called the short leg. So A is our short leg because it's the shorter one, and B is going to be our long leg because it's the longer one. So we have three things here. We have A, we have B, and we have C. And we know that the A and the B is going to be our two legs, known as the short leg and the long leg, while the C is going to be our hypotenuse, which is the longest side. Now, there's something else that you want to remember is that the C is the most important side. And what we want to know is that the C will always be opposite of this right angle. So remember, it has to come from this right triangle. So we look for that right angle. And if you go to the opposite side, well, that's your hypotenuse. Okay, so let's take a look at this definition. It says the square of this hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. So if we were to write that out in terms of a rule, in terms of a formula, that means the two smaller squares, that's our short leg, so A squared, plus our longer one, B squared, that's going to equal to the square of the hypotenuse. And that means that's going to be C squared in this case. And that's your actual rule. That's the formula that we're going to be using. So we're going to use this formula, A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared, and we're going to use that to help us solve for missing sides. So we're going to go ahead and solve for a missing side, and we're going to round our answers to the nearest tenths if necessary. So there will be some cases where we do need to round. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. And the first thing that you always want to do is to figure out, well, what is A, B, and C? Now, the easiest way to determine what is A, B, and C is to figure out, well, what is A and B first? And A and B are always going to be the two sides that creates the right angle. So I'm looking at my right angle, and I'm looking at the two sides that forms that right angle. That's going to go ahead and tell you which one is A and which one's B. Now, it doesn't matter which one's which, but typically we state that A is the shorter one, B is the longer one. Now, the third side has to be our hypotenuse, which is C. Now, remember, that's the most important one. That C is our hypotenuse, and the hypotenuse is always going to be the side that doesn't touch the right angle, and it's always opposite, directly on the opposite side of that right angle. So in this particular case, we're missing C, and that's what we want to solve for. So now we're going to go ahead and use our formula, or our Pythagorean theorem, and that Pythagorean theorem stated that A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. And now that we know what A and B are, all we got to do is substitute. So if we substitute A, and A is 5, so that means 5 squared, plus B squared, well, that's 6 squared, is equal to C squared, because we don't know what C is. So I'm just going to leave that as C. You can call it X if you like. I'm going to go ahead and leave it as C. So now we're just going to go ahead and do the math here. Well, 5 squared is just 25. 6 squared is 36, and C squared will just bring on down. Now we could go ahead and add 25 and 36, and 25 plus 36 is going to give me 61. So 61 is now equal to C squared. Now I don't want C squared, I want C. So I got to get rid of that square by doing the inverse operation, which is the square root. Now what we do on one side, We do to the other. So that way the square and the square root will cancel each other out, leaving us with c by itself. So c is equal to the square root of 61. And if you type that into your calculator, it's going to be approximately 7.8 units. Okay, so we call it units because we don't know if this is in inches, feet, centimeters, millimeters. We're just going to go ahead and call it units if they don't give us that unit of measurement. All right, so let's go ahead and try another one. Make sure that we understand this. So again, the first thing that we want to do is to identify my sides. I want to figure out, well, what is A, what is B, and what is C. And in order to do that, I'm going to look at my right angle, and I'm going to go ahead and highlight the two sides that forms the right angles, and that's going to give me my A and my B. Again, it doesn't matter which one's which, but typically we write A as the shorter side and B being the longer one. Now the one that did not touch that right angle is going to be our C value, also known as the hypotenuse. So again, the hypotenuse is always the longest side, and that's always going to be the side opposite of that 90-degree angle, and it's always going to be the side that never creates that right angle. All right, so we're going to go ahead and use that Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. And we just plug and play. We substitute what we know. So we do know that A is 4, so 4 squared, plus B, which is 10, so 10 squared, is equal to C squared, because we don't know what C is. And then we just solve. Well, 4 squared is 16. 10 squared is 100. And we'll just bring down the C squared. We'll go ahead and add the 16 and 100, giving us 116 is now equal to C squared. And once again, we want to get rid of that square by doing the square root. So we do that on both sides. The square and the square roots will cancel each other out, telling us that C is the square root of 116. You type that into your calculator, and you get about 10.8 units. So that wasn't too bad. So let's go ahead and try this next one. And this next one is slightly different. Can you tell what's the difference? All right, well, let's go ahead and take a look. So if we take a look and identify our sides, well, the sides that create that right angle is going to be our A and our B value. But this time, it looks like we're missing, in this case, the B value. It looks like this side's the longer side, so I'm going to go ahead and say that's the B value. Well, this time we're missing the B value, and we now know what the C value is. So the C is equal to 14. So that's our hypotenuse. And that hypotenuse, again, is opposite of that right angle. And remember, the hypotenuse is always the longest side. So that means B has to be less than 14. So let's go ahead and figure out what B is by substituting everything we know into our formula. So A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. We do know that A is 8, so that means 8 squared. Plus B is unknown, so I'll leave that alone. And C is 14, so 14 squared. So now all we got to do is the math in this case. So 8 squared is going to give me 64. B squared, I'll bring down. 14 squared is 196. Now remember, we're solving for B here, so our goal is to get B by itself, which means I got to get rid of the 64. So I'm going to subtract 64 on both sides. The 64s on the left will cancel each other out, leaving us with B squared is now equal to 132. Okay, so now I got to get rid of that square by doing the square root. We'll do that on both sides, and that's going to cancel out the square and the square root, giving us our B is equal to the square root of 132, and that is going to turn out to be 11.5 units. Okay, so not too bad. So if we're missing a value that is either an A or B, well, that means we're going to have to do a little bit of subtracting here, and that's going to give us our A or B value depending on what's missing. So let's go ahead and take a look at this next one. The next one, same thing here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and identify our sides, and we're going to look for that right angle. We'll see which two sides creates that right angle. And again, that's going to be your A and your B value. Now, it doesn't matter which one's A or B, so this time I'll go ahead and make this one A. I'll make the A missing this time, and I'll go ahead and call this one B. Now, the one that is important is our C value, which is the longest side, and it's opposite of that right angle. Okay, so now we're just going to go ahead and substitute everything into our formula. A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. And we just substitute. Well, I don't know what A is, so I'll leave that alone. A squared. B is 8, so that means 8 squared. And C is 13, so 13 squared. Okay, so now we just do the math here. Well, A, I don't know, so I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to bring that down. 8 squared is 64. And 13 squared is 169. So now, again, I'm missing an A value. I want to get that by itself. I want to get rid of that 64. So we'll subtract 64 on both sides. Now the 64's on the left will cancel each other out, leaving us with A squared is now equal to 105. Well, we want to get A by itself, so we'll go ahead and square root. And that way the square and the square root will cancel each other out, leaving us with A is equal to about 10.2 units. All right. So that's how we use the Pythagorean theorem to go ahead and solve for a missing side in a right triangle. Remember, it only works for a right triangle. And I hope this helped out. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe. And good luck, enjoy, and have fun. All right, I'll catch you on the next one.